The university vice chancellors wanted me to remind our distinguished senators and members of the serious problem they are facing, especially this year. Because of the strike for 8 months, academic calendar, because 8 months is equivalent to one academic calendar in every country. So one session is virtually lost. But the implication is one session will now run far beyond one calendar year. It will run for about 16 calendar months or 18 calendar months, depending on the situation. ABU's area, I don't know if he is here, in ABU it may run for 2 sessions because ABU cannot, they have reopened but they cannot continue because everything ABU had was taken away under garnish order and given because the sole administrator in 1996 sacked some staff and they went to court. Nearly 30 years later, the court said ABU should pay 2.5 billion and the central bank removed that money, and that was the money that ABU can use to open. So even, I know ABU was not happy when the strike was called off because he would be exposed. He was hoping that he would continue to take cover under the strike. But once the strike was off, he had to reopen. And he only opened a name, saying that they can start in January. But the truth is that he has only 5 million Naira in his main university account, and he needs a minimum of 70 to 80 million monthly for electricity alone. So I know that is one peculiar case, and it's the only peculiar one we know. But in general, the rising cost of diesel and electricity is placing serious burden on the universities. No university, because our overhead for all the universities, none is given up to 12 or 13 million a month. The average is 10, 11, 12 million. And no university, big or small, spends less than 30 million or 40 million in a month. Lagos spends an average of 80 million in a month. So I just raised these issues, but of course, we are aware that the budget has a limit. It's not that everybody, it's not a needs-based budget. It's an envelope budget, and it is the norm.
We have written a letter to the Minister of Education and of course the Secretary to the Government of the Federation on the need for us to, if it is a doctrine of necessity for us to do, particularly for ABU, because there must be salvage. Well, the issue of we don't know whether it was the Supreme Court that made the judgment. If it is not the Supreme Court, then of course all hands must be on deck to assist the institution to leverage on the processes of appeal to see if that judgment could be vacated. We can't make a comment on this because it is a matter of law, but truly it's saddened and unsettled very many of us. But we assured this meeting that on course we have served the ministry, the SGF has expressed readiness for the executive to meet, and he has asked for a position paper from the office of the minister. And I'm sure as soon as the minister does that, a sort of a tripartite committee, the National Assembly, the Minister of Education, and of course the board of the university will meet. The chairman of the board, even though an old person, is also an elder statesman in the country. We are also leveraging on his contract to see how we can salvage the situation, at least for the January reopening date.
And I do not mind if anyone says I am about to speak this way, because I am first a teacher. I have told everybody I am first a professor and then a politician. Since after the universities were forced to go back to work because we must obey the courts and obey the judiciary because we are in a democracy. I have been worried with the way lecturers have sounded each time they are called upon to speak on television. I see despondency, I see hopelessness. I see a people who have been coerced to go back to work. Yes, that's what I see. And I think it's important to make this point.
Don't let me overrule you.
No. My chairman, please, let me just say what I... So, I am worried. I'm worried because a typical university lecturer should be happy to do his job. I do know that not all things requested for by ASU, in the light of the circumstances we find ourselves, can be met. But I do not know whether we even tried to reach a middle point. At the end of the day, the quality of what we give to our students would matter. The output means a lot. Those of us who attended universities before now and who were teachers would admit that there is a difference between the quality we used to have yesterday and the quality we have today. So, the point I'm making, and I make this point with a huge sense of responsibility, is that even when our lecturers have gone back to school, even when the universities are now open, and it is nice that it has happened, I think something should be done to continue to talk with the administrators in the university and the lecturers. Something should be done to give everyone a soft landing, because we are all interested in how universities function. The universities mean a lot to our development as a people. So I would like to make that appeal so that all of us, beginning with us here, to the administrators like the ES in NUC and all of you, so that we can do something. The healthier our universities are, the better for all of us.